welcome back. Sweat Equity, Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez.
What's up?
What up, y'all?
How y'all doing today? Quick side note, guys, as y'all coming through here, just know and understand that we do have chapter markers at the bottom. So if you want to get straight to the questions, all right, just go ahead and click on the tabs below. All right, skip right to it. All right, to get into the topic. All right, today's topic, guys, is it's going to be about business. And Lynn, what are we talking about today?
Ooh, a lot of things, but first thing on the topic, how to price your product and your services.
Yes, all right.
It's touchy. Everybody values everything differently,
especially for a small business owner starting up, or just or someone just like last business podcast that we did. Starting out and going out on your own and things like that is very, very tough. But before we get into that, I wanted to bring this up, all right? And I want you get your phone out and look this up.
Okay.
All right, because I told you, but I didn't tell Jules. All right, because man, like right now, like just bears has been the theme for the last like 2 weeks for me. It's just been crazy.
Bears.
You know?
Bears?
Yeah, bears.
Like Yogi Bear.
No. I wish it was Yogi Bear. All right, okay. But I had this crazy dream, man, the other day, and it ties into business. So just stay with me on this one.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so I had this crazy dream. All right. And my dream, it was 5 bears, all right?
Okay.
And to be more specific, brown bears. So if anybody knows, freaking the difference between black bears and brown bears are the ones that are going to kill you, all right?
Right.
If they in sight, man, you better just stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. If you don't got no bear spray or something like that, you done, all right? So, before my ass snapped out of bed because I thought I was about to die in real life, all right? It was 5 bears.
Okay.
But the thing is like there's a fence. All right, it's a heavily barbed wire fence.
Okay.
All right, there was 3 on my side and 2 on the other side.
Okay.
All right, and when I saw it, I just took off fucking running. All right, like that. And in my dream, there was like this electrical box, on my side of the fence. I was able to climb up on like this, it was probably about 6-7 feet. So I was able to jump up there and like get away from them like that. And like the other 2, I wasn't so worried about the other 2 because they couldn't get, but they were clawing at me through the fence. Obviously it's the 3 that was in front of me that was getting me,
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Lynn, so go ahead, Lynn.
Okay.
Right, so are you do you like believe in what dreams like
Oh
yeah,
absolutely.
like that?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
All right, so this is why I'm talking about it. All right?
Okay.
So this is where it's gonna tie into business.
Okay.
All right, and why I think I had this dream. Go ahead, Lynn.
So dreams about being attacked by a bear are often rooted in personal fears and challenges you're facing or have faced recently. The image of an aggressive bear represents a situation that requires immense strength and courage.
Yeah. All right. So, there's 5 bears. Okay?
Right.
I felt like the 2 on the other side, as much as I was worried about them like that, I wasn't totally in panic about those 2 bears just because they were on the other side. And when she was telling me that, I was like, man, it just instantly hit me. I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense. All right. Because those 2 bears, I feel like they represent Crystal and Mateo,
Right.
Yeah, but the 3 bears in front of me were for my business. You know what I mean? This podcast, I have Jiu-Jitsu Do League,
right.
that I'm trying to get back and up and running it again. And then also I have my gym itself, 365. And like those are my main ones right there that I feel like are just really haunting at and getting at me and clawing at me like, or it's going to kill me,
I got you.
And I mean, bro, I tell you shit, I snapped out of sleep so fast. I was like, when have y'all had, like, what's your last crazy dream like that? You remember?
Bro, I don't remember my last crazy dream like that.
Uh-huh.
I do remember my last like weird thought, but it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that like extreme. It was just like I was just sitting around awake.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, this is real though. This is
we
real.
gotta cut this.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is real. Like okay, so Mateo,
Yeah.
right? So everybody has a kid, and like you want to see your kid grow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody talks about their parents' worst fear is not being able to see like your child grow up, right? Like, it's a parent's worst fear. And so I was sitting, and Ellie was somewhere, and then she comes back in the room, bro, and I was crying. Like,
bro,
but check this out, bro. Check this out.
Yeah.
Wait, no, So here's why, though. She was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, not because I wasn't gonna be able to see her grow up. I said, it basically like, I was crying because there was gonna be a day that was gonna come when I was gonna die and wouldn't be able to see her. So it was like it was my death. Like, it wasn't anything that bad happened to her. It was just that I wouldn't be able to continue to see her. And Ellie was like, chill out. Like, she was like, calm down. But that, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was, like, it was just weird. But that was like probably the last one. Like,
do you have one, Lynn?
Nah, not like that.
Not like that. Nah. You know, my dream don't mean shit. You know, I just saw guys chopping trees down when they were supposed to. So.
I see crazy shit every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, bro.
Before I get out, let me add on to that, because like I found myself the other day in that thing, and I had to suck it up until Crystal left, right? So I would sound like a little bitch, right? But have you seen the new Avatar movie?
No,
Way of the Water, like that. All right, super fucking long. You know, like that, like amazing. You know, video, like graphics and everything like that, and you know, I kind of annoyed at the plot line, you know, because they brought back one of the characters at the first one like that. But the main character in there is Sully. I think his name is James Sully or something like that, whatever. But he had a son. All right, and spoiler alert. All right, so if you didn't watch it, I'm about to tell you. All right,
They should have done watch it.
yeah.
It's been too long.
His son died. His oldest son died. He had two sons and then $2, but his very first son died at the very end, like that. And I was like, it's like, why you gotta be watching this? The fuck?
Right.
You know,
Bitch ass movie.
Like, so I was like, for sure. All right.
Yeah, I'm watching the whole ass shit.
But getting back to just the business topic now, right? So,
right.
We did put every week, guys. We go ahead and we put out a Q&A post on Instagram, guys. So if y'all see that, you know, if you have any questions within the topic that we're gonna discuss for the week and like that, for sure, you know, leave a comment, guys. All right, and we'll answer it every when we get back to the when we record the podcast, for sure. So today's question, guys. All right, this is a fun one, and I think it's gonna be a great way just to really get the creative juices going, as you know, as for entrepreneurs and just mind and things. So, but the question was, you know, if each one of us had or started our own ice cream business, what would your business plan be? I'm gonna go last, you know, because I really love ice cream, and I really thought about this. When I saw this, I was like, I really thought about this, you know. All right, you want to go first, Jules?
Oh my God. Okay, so let's see. Business plan about ice cream. So, what I would do first is I would, of course, I would look at the market, like where I am. Like right now, we're in Southeast Texas. Temperatures next week, all in triple digits. Ice cream
prices going up.
Ice cream is a must. So now you have to figure out the other thing, though. The more important thing, like we talk about. What thing do we love to do that ice cream is kind of contrary to? Work out. Halo and all that, they're okay, but they're not good. They're not they're not the French, what is it? Homemade vanilla Bluebell.
Yeah.
They're not that. You know what I'm saying?
Good stuff.
So the first thing I would be trying to do is figure out how to make that ice cream. How to make like a good, healthy ice cream. Like, I don't know if you use like almond milk. I don't know what it would be. But then I'll figure that out. I'd figure that part out. And then my marketing strategy would be to market to like the health, like Planet Fitness. Because Planet Fitness pretends like, oh yeah, you can come in and you can, you know, get a pizza at the gym if you want to.
Pizza and ice cream, bro, after you hit your...
Pizza and ice cream. But the ice cream, you can eat a half a gallon of ice cream and it's still only 75
You
calories.
telling me I can eat more than a pint?
You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me?
All right, if you still overdo it, Lynn, all right, and you're in a calorie surplus, you're gonna get weight, all right? Understand that, okay?
But and so then you figure out that part, and then the other part, which is kind of like what Lynn was talking about earlier, was when you look at the pricing. I just think that it's despicable that our country prices health food way higher than everything else.
They don't
A
make it
bottle
available.
of water costs more than a fucking Coke.
Bro, you get a 2 liter. You get a 2 liter
You get
for
two-
half the price of a bottle of water.
Bro,
Yeah.
And so that's
Seen the prices
ridiculous.
at Chick-fil-A for a sandwich versus a salad.
right. So that, I mean, but that's what.
So you'll go down the health route, the healthy ice cream route, a real good healthy ice cream route, so to the health people.
But that way, so that people that want to have good ice cream, but like, because people have shit habits, you know, they go through. Let me get, 2 double cheesemburgers, such, 18 large fries, 2 apple pies, and a Diet Coke.
Yeah, a Diet Coke, man.
Right.
That saves the whole meal.
Yeah, like it's all saved with the Diet Coke.
Consciously, they know that. You know what? They made a healthy choice.
Well, now they can get a milkshake.
Healthy
And
milkshake.
they get the healthy milkshake at the end. So just kind of try to
How about you,
double
Lynn?
it up.
What would your business plan be for the ice cream?
So I love ice cream, right? And the second that I saw that question, I just thought about the time I was in Mexico and the guy that churns ice cream on the corner, and once he's out, he's out. So it's like first come, first serve type of thing. It's like, oh man, it's just so good. So like Jules, we're South Texas, and we're right at the border. We're close to the border, and I just immediately thought like, everybody loves a cause. So, and I'm very big, and everybody's really big right now on getting everything sourced, organic. And I would definitely do ice cream that goes back to the people, and doing this whole thing where I'm getting with a local, I don't know what they're called, the people that milk like their own cows, the people who harvest their own fruit, and get,
Like farm to table type of ice cream?
Exactly,
Like
that kind of
super
thing.
thing?
Yeah, so I would definitely do that. Again, marketing back to people who just love a cause. They just, if you give back, it's going back to the community, it's going back to the farmers, it's going back to the people. So
Sustainable packaging.
I feel like Lynn, you're gonna see Lynn riding that bike in the neighborhood.
Heck yeah.
Paletero.
Yeah, the paletero.
Paletera.
Paletera. Like that. For sure. Would you do brick and mortar, or would you do ice cream truck, or paletero? What's up? What route would you go?
I would definitely do either ice cream truck or pop up. I wouldn't do brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Pop up.
Yeah.
Because the brick and mortar is good, but brick and mortar costs money.
Right.
Hey, but I feel like, just like Lynn was saying with the cause, like if you're a pop up, when it's gone, it's gone. Like it's like, hey, I'm here. I'm here. You want to come? You want to get it? Come get it. Would be where you could come get it from me.
Yeah.
If you were gonna. Now other places, when you get to the level, then you start outsourcing it and putting in places. But to start, I feel like mobile is the best.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, and I thought about this, all right, and I would do brick and mortar, all right, and for me, I'm going premier. I'm going for the elite. That's my freaking clientele that I want to go for.
Okay.
All right, and for me, specifically, all right, like a soft serve gelato type of ice cream, all right,
Those are good.
like that. So man, like it's just nothing better than like being able to just put your spoon in there and then already eat it. You don't gotta wait for it to thaw out.
Yeah.
None of that shit. All right. Okay.
No
For me,
microwave
all
for 10
right.
seconds.
Sidebar for me with ice cream like that. Like anytime I get ice cream and I have to let it thaw out, I'm the type of one that just keeps mixing it with the spoon until it gets all real whipped up. Like, oh man, I love eating my ice cream like that. All right.
See, I just eat around the edges.
Nah,
Like I just keep eating around the edges.
yeah, and then you just keep flipping that hard one over. And then, yeah, I don't got time for that, man. I want soft serve right now. All right. So brick and mortar for the elite, soft serve gelato type. All right, and then what it's gonna be at, because obviously, all right, you go to certain ice creams and they have all their flavors out all the time. You know what I mean? And then but what's gonna happen is that when you have all your flavors out like that, you're only gonna have your best sellers. Let's say let's say you have 10 flavors like that. 3 of them are your best sellers. 3 of them your medium basic. 3 of them no one even fucking fucks with. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And then, you probably got that one flavor of the month. To make the 10. You know, like that.
Yeah.
What I would do is that every month, I'm switching it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it's gonna be real exclusive. So probably 3 to 5 flavors max. You know, every month, like that. Where it's a new flavor each month. And that flavor is not gonna come back around until for a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you really love it, like you gotta like you gotta come in there and you gotta get it before like that. And then it'll switch out. But these are gonna be like premier like flavors and stuff like that. But the thing is that now you don't have to run into inventory problems. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. So I would do something like that for sure.
That's what. It's not of the week, but the Crave Cupcake does something. Okay, I'm a fat kid, right? So it just is what it is. But Crave Cupcake, like they'll have like they had these key lime cupcakes, bro. Ooh. They were amazing, but you could only get them on Tuesday. You could only get them on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you could tell the people, because if Crave was hopping on Tuesday, it's because the people were there because they wanted key lime, and so it kept.
You got to plug at Crave, so you know what
I get them out the back, but that's kind of the same thing though. Like you have, it's like, oh man, if I'm not going to be able to get, the king of the peaches over here, so I'm not going to be able to get the peach soft serve for another 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then I need to go get it now, and then it's
not for sure.
I'm gonna spend that money now.
It's going to be upscaled, obviously premier ice cream like that. Shit, I'll even work with freaking Lynn over here. Give me that farm to table. What I mean?
I'll source you some pitaya, that special flavor of the month.
and then from there, freaking, and then from that, it just every week or probably monthly, it's changing out, and you're not gonna get that flavor again until
the good thing about doing stuff like that, like having those exclusives, is people go, okay, I really like the peach, right? I really like the peach, but then they're like, oh man, I haven't had a peach for a couple of months. Let me see what other flavor they have. And now before you know it, they like 3 or 4 different flavors, and now they can get that steady rotation.
And that's my whole mindset when I was thinking about that. I was like, if you go in there and you find a real good flavor that you like, all right, and then it's gone, you're like, fuck, I really love that flavor. Don't have it. Let me see what else they got. Right. So they're forced to go ahead and
try something new.
Something new. You know what I mean? Like that, and get out their comfort zone of ice creams and stuff like
that. For sure.
It's strictly that. All right. I want to ask one extra question. All right, like that with this question. Okay, how important do you think? What would the name of your business be?
Oh.
Think about that.
Man, I don't know. I have no idea.
No idea.
I have
no idea.
All right, so all right, I'll let you think about this. So let me ask this question then. All right, how important do you think the name of the business is?
That's why I would take forever to name.
I'd probably go with Los Helados, and it's just straight to the point. The ice cream.
The ice cream.
Yeah.
But see, even so hella stupid, but that's dope. No, it's a dope name. But I saw something once upon a time on Instagram where the dude was like, we should name a wing place, and it should be called Alas Chingadas.
Hell yeah, because it's like a slang term.
Right.
It's a slang slogan. Yeah.
Right. But
TM trademark.
But I don't know where to do it. But it's funny because people say you could say a la chingada or a las chingada.
Yes.
And it was like, right. But that's one of those names. Yeah. There's a place on Northside Houston called Pinche Tacos.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Or the hamburger place, Mamalonas.
Hey, wait. Mamalonas smacks. but I'm just saying though. So it's really like the name, you have to name it, bro.
Yeah, hey, all of y'all sponsor us.
The name for sure like that. I have an idea, and I've always told I told Crystal this, and I also have my little cousin. She graduated from I can't even remember the culinary school that she graduated from. It's here in Houston too and stuff like that. But it's a prestige culinary school, and I always try to get in business with her and be like, hey, let's start up a like muffin, cake pop, freaking business, like a bakery,
Right.
and call it Muffin Tops. All right, like that. All right, because when you eat a muffin,
Right.
what's the first thing you eat?
The
Right.
top.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all
That's
I
all
want to
I eat.
sell.
100%.
That's all I
Muffin
want to
tops.
sell. All right. I want to take the muffin top off. All right, and even I want to gut the muffin and then like stuff it with some badass ice cream. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
something like that.
Oh.
All right, and then
As like a bowl.
and then not to freaking waste food because obviously I'm cutting off just
Yeah,
so like that.
yeah.
The bottom part we roll it up into cake pops like that. Bing! Hey, y'all steal my idea. I swear. And I even told my wife, I was like, "Babe, are you gonna be telling my grand ideas online and stuff? People gonna be taking this. All right, I'm putting that,
Bro, but no,
like that.
but that's the
Tell me
thing.
you want to eat there though for sure.
What?
Every day.
All right, I'll be your
Every
plug.
day.
All right?
But that's what
For breakfast.
who was that? There was somebody that was on like Ellen DeGeneres or something. That was like the correct way you eat a cupcake is to pull the bottom of it
Yes,
off,
like a
put it on the
sandwich.
top, and eat it like a sandwich. And then so now you sit around, you see all these people that sprinkle cupcakes, taking the bottom
Man,
off. and
that's
eating like
that's only because they just cake the shit out of fucking
They do.
out of
It's too
cupcakes like
much.
that. That's why they do that, man. Honestly,
I
when I
smash
eat
cupcakes.
cupcakes and stuff like that, man, I probably take all that off. I leave a little thin layer. I'm not big on the icing like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always big like when it comes to baked like baked goods and stuff like that, especially like cake kind of baked goods. I want to I want to know how like moist the cake is. If it's that shit's dry and
You like
stuff,
it moist?
the icing and shit, yeah, it's not gonna
Moist.
be moist.
Moist.
It's such-
That word.
all right, that was a fun question for sure. Like that.
No, that's yeah. That's dope.
Maybe if I y'all keep thinking about the ice cream, I'll ask you at the end of the podcast about the ice cream for sure. Like that. All right, but for sure. Let's go back to the main topic, guys. How to price your your products and your service. And I really want you to take the lead on this, Lynn. Because I know you had a lot of thoughts about this when we were coming up, with the idea throughout the week and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of experience in it too, because it's changed from when when my dad started, then I took over, and then even now, especially after COVID, because the whole economy changed, right? And so it's gotten harder. Especially when you're like a luxury service or some type of like niche service, and people are they don't realize the amount of time, the amount of knowledge, everything that it takes for you to do that service or that thing that nobody else wants to do. And
Right.
nobody else wants to do, they don't take the time, or it's going to take them longer versus hiring somebody that does this as a profession and they get the job done and they get it done right. And so valuing your prices. So for me, it really had to do with how long I was in the service and really being able to say, hey, look, we're family owned, we're small business. The money's literally taking care of our family. It's not going to, all these different franchises and who knows what. I know the people that are working for me. I know their families. And so to me, that's more value, because I get to see the people that come into work and put everything that they have going out, it's including myself, for everybody. And so I really want to take the time to tell people, like, when you're pricing your services, you're pricing what you do. If you have a lot of pride, you're very proud of the work that you're doing, do not sell yourself short. Whatever you do, regardless if somebody else is going to go cheaper than you stick to your guns and you say, this is how much it costs. This is what the price that I am going to take for this job, and go from there. It's happened to me, and I'm not going to guarantee that it'll happen for everybody, but when you go cheaper, 2-3 months down the line, hey, can you come fix this for me? And of course, unfortunately, the client does go out of pocket a little bit more sometimes, just depending on whatever job it is. But now you're saving the person future headaches, right? So, you have to fix the problem, but you're getting the job done right, what it needs to get done, and you're saving that person for future cost on whatever it is, whatever service you're providing, if you don't do it right.
So let me ask you this. When you first started, and what was it, about 7 years ago,
Yeah,
stuff like that?
yeah,
All right. So when you
2016.
first started, what was the big what were your prices then? When did you jump, and what are your prices now?
So my prices stayed the same. I want to say till COVID happened. Everything had to change after that. So I started off
a good 6 years. They stayed the same.
Yeah, a good 6 years. And the great thing about it was, I want to say, my dad knew the kind of service that he was putting out there, and he is still, even we are still now, are exclusive to high-end residential. And so we were able to put up our price in a margin that was able to give us profit. But unfortunately, when COVID happened, that margin jumped so high, and we didn't expect our vendors to also go high. A lot of things happened besides COVID. We had, I forgot what flood or hurricane that happened that hit all that coast for
Harvey.
Florida. Huh?
Was it Harvey?
It wasn't Harvey.
No.
It was. I want to say it was like during COVID or something. It was some hurricane that hit like Louisiana, all that whole coast right there, all the way up to Florida. And a lot of our vendors lost. I mean, there was a point where we couldn't even put flowers for people because all those nurseries where we get our plants wholesale were done. Like there was no way for us to get. So everything. So being able to source that from other growers in other states, that jacked up the shipping, the cost to grow it, and all. I mean, it was terrible. And so once COVID happened, and I'll just put this out there. A flat of caladiums might have cost you $15 back in 2016, and right now they're getting priced $55 a flat.
Damn,
that's $35.
Yeah.
Caladiums?
Yeah, caladiums. And
I'm
they're
gonna
just
start
like,
selling them hoes on the corner.
I actually had a customer.
Egg pandemic when people.
I actually had to tell a customer a month ago that it was just going to be, and this is just like I said, if you are proud of the work you do, your integrity and everything like that, and the work that comes, I just straight up said, I cannot with full conscience be able to charge you what I want to charge you with this. I know you love these flowers. You put them in every season. I don't want to do that to you. They ended up outsourcing it themselves, bringing me the bulbs so I could plant it in their yard, and then we just went from there. It was crazy, but they were able to save money for it, and I'd rather you save the money and know that I know I can still put the work behind it, and you can value the service that I'm going to give you versus charging you an arm and a leg and then not being able to deliver, or knowing that it would kind of like hurt the relationship between us. Yeah.
How about you yourself, Jules? Like when you were in your law firm and stuff like that, like what were your rates and stuff like that, and how did you base your rates, at the time and stuff like that?
I'm really into tropical perennials with heart-shaped leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up.
So like,
say, what kind of law is this?
I was like, what is a caladium? Okay.
You had to look at it.
If they go for 30,
and it's crazy, right? Because it's just
literally
a stem with a single leaf, and you're like, why do people want this?
This thing's going for $35, like $55 a flat.
Like the pollen, become drugs or something like that.
They're
people like
show-stopping leaves that end up growing in like bunches, and people just love the colors. They come.
What's the life show on those things?
So once you plant them, they're there for life because they regrow from the bulb. Yeah. So they go dormant in the winter, and then they come back.
All right.
Yeah.
Your return on investment, is there. Right? We're gonna talk about that a little bit right now. Right? It's on our board looking at it, so that makes a lot of sense. It really does.
So it's weird because the law is different, and it's a service, right? And so I'm just a firm believer in you get what you pay for, right? So you have to look at all the things that go into it. You have to look at the time, the toil, and the talent that go into what you want to do. And then you have to look at your market. So when I first started, skip that. So you look at the general price for a lawyer, right? General price for a lawyer, mid-grade lawyer is about $115 to $125 an hour.
An hour,
right?
That's your retainer rate.
That's if people that are charging retainers, that's what they would charge. But that's generally like mid-range. So what I would do is I would say when I first started, I said, okay, that's the cost, $100 an hour or whatever. and then I would try to estimate how much time it would take to accomplish whatever the goal was. Problem with that is you say, okay, well, this is a DWI. It could take, I don't know, actual work, it could take 10 hours because you're talking about the time of going to court, reviewing the evidence, that whole bit. But then you have the additional problem of what happens if the case goes to trial. And so what you found a lot, especially here in Houston and Harris County, was lawyers would do this. They would charge you one price if your case pled, and then they charge you an additional cost if the case went to trial. So
Pled means like settle?
Like settle, yeah.
Okay.
So if you take a deal, take probation, whatever, without going to trial, then they give you, okay, so whatever. But then I took issue with that. And the reason I took issue with that was because now I have people making a financial decision on their freedom and the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I didn't feel comfortable with that. So then this is where in some ways, and some people see it as good, some ways people see it as bad, but for me, it turned out to be good in the long run. When people would come into me and tell me what their level of case was, and say charge aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, I said, okay, ag assault, deadly weapon, you've been to the pen before. Okay, so you're looking at 5 to 9 years of life. If we go to trial on this case is going to take 3 to 4 days. Okay, a 3 to 4 day trial at $200 an hour or whatever. I did the math on it and say, okay, that's going to cost $7,500, whatever it is. And I would charge people that.
Yeah.
And I would say, tell them, because this is how the pricing plays in. I would say, you're paying me $7,500 for your trial. Okay. Anything short of that is your decision, but you're paying me for the trial. Why? Because I don't care if you plea, right? That's up to you. But I can't guarantee that a prosecutor is going to give you something that you're willing to plea to. So you can't make your decision based on that. I don't know what they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
They may tell you you're going to do life in prison, and you say, no, I don't want that. And say, okay, well, now you got to come up with an additional amount of money. Well, that's not fair. And then the second thing is, for me, if you take pride in your work, I can't tell you whether or not this plea deal is a good plea deal unless I've reviewed the evidence, talked to all the witnesses, reviewed everything, unless I've prepared for trial.
Yeah.
And so now I'm prepared for trial, and I'm looking and I'm saying, look, based on my experience, based on what I know, based on the evidence, they're offering you XYZ, 5 years. Okay, that's the bare minimum. If you get convicted by a jury and if a jury sees fit to convict you on these facts, they're not going to give you the minimum. So what are you going to lose? But I'm ready to go to trial.
Yeah.
So you make the decision. And people say, and people should tell me all the time, they say, well, what if I don't want to go to trial? And I would tell them just like this. I would say, when you go to McDonald's and you get a number 6 and you don't want the fries, do you tell them, I don't want the fries, so give me a discount? No, you take everything, you eat what you want. You pay me for the trial. You want anything less than that, that's your business.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to trial, we're good. And now you have a year, 2 years, whatever long it takes to pay for your trial. You do anything less than that, that's 100% your decision. And then I never had clients say things to me like, well, you just trying to force me, and you just don't. No, I'm not trying to force you to do anything. You paid me to fight for you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here. I'm fighting, and that's whatever. So, so I did it based on what I saw, like a disadvantage that I saw going on with people. Like, and I'm not going to say that only poor people commit crimes, because that's not true. But a majority of the people that commit crimes could not afford to pay anybody $200 an hour to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, like
No.
they can't.
What would you say, or do you even know the statistic on like people that are, broke or in poverty and stuff like that, that are in jail, they're basically in jail just because they couldn't afford it.
Oh, bro. That's easy.
Yeah.
Everybody that's in jail is in jail because they can't afford to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, because realistically, like Constitution, very few people can be held. Very few people can be held without a bond, right? So there are people, and this there are people that are in jail, because they can't afford to get out. Now, you go through this whole legal road, and bond should be here to not as a tool of oppression, but should be used as a to ensure that people make it back to court. So you can't just give somebody, you get $1 million bond for your weed case. I mean, nothing like that. But there are people. I mean, because you have homeless people get arrested all the time.
Yeah,
they don't have any money.
Yeah,
but you have other people who have fuck tons of money to get arrested for a DWI, and they're basically ready to get out of jail before they made it down. They made it to the jailhouse. So it's just, I feel like there's a lot of people but I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are in jail. Not because they can't make the bond, but because they're poor. I feel like that right now.
They don't even have a fighting chance just because they don't even have money. I guess that's my question is like how many of them in jail now, if they did have a fighting chance and they did have the money, they would have been more successful on not even seeing prison. I guess that's the question I'm asking.
So I feel like that's changed over the recent years because we've had some bail reform things that happen in Harris County. And so you have a lot more people getting out on personal recognizance bonds and all that stuff, PR bonds. So they just say, okay, you promise to show back up. You don't have to pay any money. But I've been practicing law for 20 years. Bro, when I started practicing in 2003, when I started practicing law, there were people and they would sit in jail and they'd be in jail for a month, 2 months, didn't have the money to get out of jail on a criminal trespass or whatever. And they say, okay, well, we'll just offer you credit time served. And they'd be like, yeah, because I need to get out. Yeah. So people would plead the cases just to get out. I don't really think that's the case anymore because of the bail reform, but it used to be like that used to be a thing, bro. That used to be a real thing in Harris County.
I have a cousin, and I know he has a felony on his record because he did that. He wanted to get out, and he pleaded, and then not knowing that, he could have really fought it and like that, but he pleaded, got his family, and now it's one of those things that's kind of haunting him. And this is something that happened when he was a teenager too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just sucks. Because obviously you don't have the right legal people in your corner to help you out and really let you understand nah, you shouldn't take this. You don't understand what a felony's gonna do to your record. And if you just would have had that counseling, for sure.
So that's one of the things that started me when I went into practice on my own. I was in court one day and I saw this guy, and the guy came up to me and he was like, hey, this is my client. He's 17 years old. He got caught smoking pot in his garage. Mind you, this was 20 years ago. He got caught smoking pot in his garage. Can we just give him a deferred probation, right? And, it's probation. He gets probation. He goes, but if he successfully completes it, he doesn't have a conviction on his record, and that's fine. But I remember thinking, I was like, this guy's not even going to try to he just wants to do whatever he can do to get this case gone. I just want to be done with it, get my money and go. Because I remember thinking, at 17 years old, bro, I couldn't complete a probation. They tell you can't have any injurious habits. You have to supposed to have a curfew. You don't put that on a 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And so I was but I just saw that that's the way they were doing most people of color, black and brown. They were just he'll be fine. And it was yeah, just give him probation. And then, it's well, why can't he just take a drug class and get the case dismissed?
That's all he had to do?
Well, I mean, that's what I told him. I was well, just give him a drug class and get the case. But he was just put him on probation. Yeah. So that he thinks he's okay. He thinks everything is fine. Then he screws up the probation. Now he's got this conviction on his record. And so that was one of the things. So for me, I don't know, man. It was kind of you just have to practice law different, bro.
No, as for me, I know when I started out, as for pricing my products and things like that, and then, when I was training back in as a side gig in my apartment gym, I was charging $20 an hour. Okay. Right, like that, and to this day, $20 an hour is still a good amount of money per hour. Right. How many people do you really know that are making over $20 an hour?
Right.
Even in today's society, even as a white collar, working in in a cubicle and stuff like that. I'm like, people are really still struggling to even get to that marker and things like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a lot of money, but then again, I was like going back to what Lynn said. All right, it's a like I feel like for our for our service, not so much as yours. You're just what would you put yours at? Because I know I'm like a luxury. What would you put yours at? What category would you put yours as?
I mean,
is it a necessity?
It's not really. It depends on what you did.
Yeah,
it's not really a necessity, but it really is kind of. It really is in the realm of like luxuries. It's like everybody doesn't. Everybody needs a lawyer. Everybody needs a lawyer. But it's not one of those. It's an unexpected cost. It comes up.
I think like you're one of those rare ones, like what are those circle graphs called, and then the
Venn diagram.
Yeah, I think you're the one of those that are just right in there. You're a necessity and a luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that. And for me, for sure, I'm on the luxury side. All right, like that. Like when money gets tight, COVID happens and stuff. Guess what, man? No one needed a fucking trainer. All right?
Okay, right.
Like that. Okay, like that. You know what? I'm gonna just work out at home.
Right.
I'll cut my own lawn.
Yeah. Money like that.
Right,
but then you get obviously you have businesses like electric and phone and stuff like that. Those are all
all
necessities, especially like the
gas,
internet.
like that. And so
internet.
Yeah,
Hey,
I like man, I can't
everybody
even
has
believe
it.
can you think about just living without internet now and stuff like that. But yeah, so I charge I was charging 20. I thought that was like big money
Right.
at the time. And then, but little known to me, when I went off and I started learning more and stuff like that, the average rate for a personal trainer is going to be anywhere from $65 to $75 an hour, like that.
Ooh.
I know some trainers that are going up to like 100. For sure. I had an offer from one of my very first clients of mine. She ended up moving to New York, and she would always throw it out there all the time. She's like, hey, I could get you guaranteed if you move over here about 10 clients like that, and they're all willing to pay you anywhere from $120 to $150 an hour. I was like, like, man, don't tell me this. I was like, man, I'm settling down. I just got a wife.
I'm on the last train to Clarksville.
I was like, man, to go from $20 to $150 an hour.
We out.
Yeah, I was like, but then again, I was like, is it worth it though? It is New
Right.
York. I was like,
Yeah.
no, that's why you like that.
Right.
So but the average here in Houston, you're gonna look at it anywhere from $65 to $75 an hour. For the market rate and things like that. For sure, depending on their certifications and things like that they have, it's gonna start to go upwards. Like that. And right, the more educated they are, like that, the more they work with different type of clientele and things like that. For sure, they their weight is worth in gold. For sure, the knowledge that they have and things like that. And so, but it was a real tough thing. When I went off, because like I was like, damn, I was like, I got people paying $20 an hour. Now I gotta go and freaking ask them. Like I went off to that family owned gym,
right?
And they're telling me, hey, our rates are $60 an hour now. And now I got my clients at the time that are paying me $20 an hour. Now I got to go back and I'll be like, hey, I'm working at this gym. Now we're charging $60. I was like, that's what I was like, you just cannot pigeonhole yourself,
right?
In that type of corner where you really undervalue yourself, and then now you have to go back, and then because now you're playing catch up,
right?
With the market, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get into this weird space where like, well, I don't want to lose my clients, but if I don't raise my rates, then I can't even make a living.
Then I can't sustain.
Yeah, I can't even sustain. And I tell my trainers all the time this. That's one of the first questions I ask them when they come in here is like, what are your rates? They're independent trainers or like that. I don't set the rates for them. So, but I'm very curious, to let them know, and I'll like, or ask them so they can let me know, and then let them know like, nah, like you're too low. All right.
Right.
You need to get a higher rate. There's been so many times where like I will get a client, I'll get someone in here in the gym asking for a personal trainer, and they will ask me, and then I will sell them and get that personal trainer a client for them. And then I'll come back and I'll be like, hey, such and such came in like that. Here's their number, their information. They're gonna do a session with you next Monday at this time, like that. And I charge them $60 an hour, like that. And it's probably already like $15-$20 higher than their rate, you know. And I always tell them, I was like, guess what? That's your new rate. Do not go down any lower than that. You know, just to kind of give them that extra boost or that kick in the ass, that, you know, because they're just so scared, because they're coming in and stuff, and they're seeing that that they're a little bit behind on the rates and their services, and they're just too scared to, you know, raise them and then go back and you know, to their faithful or lower clients that they probably have already had for like 6-8 months, probably some of them a year, like that, and be like, hey, you know, this is my new rate, and then they leave. And I like, it's kind of it's the name of the business, though, you know. It's part of the game, you know, like that, you know. And you can't really be scared to do that, because I like sooner or later, like, you got to really truthfully ask yourself, it's like, well, what type of clientele do I want? What type of,
bro, Shell ain't scared to raise the rates at all.
No,
Shell be raising rates like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
every time I go to the goddamn pump,
you need gas.
Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of people sell themselves short, and it's for the fear. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, people used to come in my office all the time, bro, and they're like, well, the guy down the street said he could do it for $1,500. Like, bet, then that's your dude. If that's what you're here for, that's your dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I do all the time. All the time.
And what happens when they go down the street and then they call you back, Lynn? What happens?
I'm gonna charge you that and extra.
Why?
Because I have to fix somebody else's mistake.
Man, they used to come in and they would say that. They shrug their shoulders and they go. I send them, and then they come back. Man, the dude told me I could only get right. I noticed what the dude told you.
Yeah,
I knows what happened. And now even if I charge you the same, you still paid more because you paid him whatever you paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if I charge you the same, you're still out more money.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like,
and you want to think you can only imagine what it's like to fuck up a garden or somebody's bad technique or whatever, bro. Lawyers go down there and they tell people all kind of shit that they shouldn't be telling them.
Yeah.
And you like you done went
like
up to
a doctor.
Man, you went up and said, well, I know this dude's guilty and I know you got him dead to rights and now you want me to come in and you want me to try to fix it. Your other lawyer sold you down the river. What do you want me to do? Come on, man. And they want you to work a miracle. Get my case dismissed.
I went and vanquished.
You went and hired that dude with the big pants to cover up his shoes. Y'all see that meme?
I love that meme, bro. You know you're going to jail. That dude's wearing some baggy ass jeans. Got some penny loafers,
bro.
Got shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads with a slick
You were going to jail. You were going to jail.
Yo, so yeah.
If you got a velvet suit on, run.
Bro. But in any
Hey, but he got a bow tie on.
Hey.
But getting expunged.
If you got a business, it doesn't matter what your business is doing. If you a nurse, doctor, if you a lawyer, if you a horticulturalist, of whatever it is, like, you have to value your craft. If you don't value your craft, nobody else will value it. Like they're not.
You got to talk to yourself like that too. What I do is a craft. Hey, I'm doing something that you're not gonna do out here.
That you're not gonna do, that you can't do, that you don't have the
right.
I could figure out how to sheetrock and float and tape a wall. Like, I could figure that out.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
A, I don't want to do it, and B, it's probably gonna be fucking terrible because I don't have the experience, and it's gonna take me twice as long to do. And no,
I love this. I love this statement that when my students always tell me and stuff like that, and that they'll always, like, I'll show them a move and things like that, and they're like, "Dang, coach, why you make it look so easy?" Right? And I always tell them back every time, if I made it look hard, would you want to train with me?
Right.
Like that. You know, like, this is serious truth. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to show you something and I'm struggling and I'm sweating and, like, whatever it is like that, I look fucking stupid myself. I'm like, do you really want to train with me? Like that. It's like, you know, I ain't trying to call nobody out, but I like at all. But, you know, it's like going into the gym. All right. and then you're going in there to live a better, healthier lifestyle, get stronger,
I know
lose weight and
exactly who you're
stuff
trying
like
not to
that.
call out to.
Okay. and then who you go talk to? The fat trainer. All right. There's one thing I tell all my trainers, like that, and it's not to shame anybody or nothing like that, but the thing is that you're literally, all right, when I'm a trainer and things like that, I'm literally a walking billboard.
Yeah.
Walking advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Walking advertisement. All right. If it ain't already on my clothes telling you that I'm a trainer, all right, that guess what? My body's gonna tell you itself.
Right.
All right. And so just alone, I know people have gone up to me like that because they'll see my clothes and my attire and things like that, and then they'll just double check. Hey, are you a trainer? Well, yeah, I'm a trainer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And here's my information. You know what I mean?
'Cause you
Other
don't
than
have on a
that,
rash guard.
if I was, I was like, I really can't even fathom or think about like if I was a fat trainer and then I'm wearing all this gym gear like
Right.
that. I honestly, I would not even think twice if anybody would ever come up to me and be like, "Hey, are you a trainer?"
No, they
And
think you're going to the gym.
they think that
Right.
you're going to that gym.
Who is your trainer?
Yeah,
Who is your trainer?
yeah. Where do you work out like that? Is that a close like that? Like I could see that happen.
Right.
But them asking
Yeah.
me about my prices and my services and being a trainer, nah, like come on now.
Yeah.
For sure. So, what my next question that I want to ask, and we just talking about this is knowing what you're doing, and I just had an incident like this, for I just got my house thing, and so when it comes to products and services and things like that, and you were talking about it a little bit about with your flowers and where you're getting it from, other nurseries and things like that, because people don't put that into perspective of going into your prices, and your services and things like that. Elaborate how important to me it is, and I'm gonna tell you the story afterwards, of just like trusted name brands that you work with and why that that's such a big thing for you when you're finding new client.
Yeah, it's trusted names, brands, but then also like growers. So people, you're not just sticking a seed in soil and then just hoping it grows, right? There's quality control that comes into it. So I have to specifically source what my growers, to be able to provide a plant that as soon as I plant it in the ground, it's not going to just die, get in shock or anything like that. Same thing with my brands. I have a brand of fertilizers. I have a brand of soil that I use. Like I said, I just use a lot of different things. There's a lot of different services. So it's like, I know, if I'm going to do a fence job, I know what stains I'm going to use on my fence. If we're doing pressure washing, I know what kind of chemicals I'm going to be using in that pressure washer. And so it really goes a long way. And trial and error, I got there, but it comes a long way when you use the brands that work, and then also having a price accordingly for the brands that you're having to use.
Yeah, and we talked about this the other day, because I was telling you how me and my wife just got our house painted,
Right.
Okay? And so one thing that really irritated me, and the reason this popped up in my head is because what you said about making sure that you like. When you do a project or you're paying for a project or a service like that, like for me, I don't care how much it really costs, as long as it's done right the first time. All right, that's where for me that's where it's worth it for me. If it's in like obviously I have a budget,
Right,
what I mean? I have
for
a budget, like that. Even if it's $200-300 above my budget like that, it's not so far out. I'm like, my only question is like, are you gonna do it right the first time?
Right.
Well, we had these painters come out, and for me it was real frustrating, and I got real frustrated with my wife because her and the painter guy were not on the same page as for what he wanted for his materials. And when she sent me to Lowe's to go get the primer and the paint like that, I'm like, why isn't he doing this stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Because what ended up happening is that I went to Lowe's, all right, and then it wasn't the primer that he liked. So then we had to go back, exchange it, and then get the right primer, and then he sent us off to another place to get the paint. And so that's why I asked you the question, like, how important for you when you're pricing everything like that, and then more importantly, working with a good trusted brand, because that's one thing that really irritates me when I'm outsourcing and I'm hiring people like that. I was like, you're the expert.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I was like, of course I could paint my own fucking house, but you're the expert.
Right.
Just like how you
Right.
said.
Right.
You know, like that. It's not going to look good. But then again, okay, you're the expert. You're supposed to be the expert. Now I'm like, I'm not, you know, I'm over here and I'm looking at a freaking aisle with freaking 10 different brands and stuff like that. And you know.
And to you, they all look the same.
They all look
They all look the
exactly
same.
fucking
They
same.
all-
Okay.
They're all the same.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just to get primer, it was white primer. Okay, you think that'd be easy, right? No, there's gloss, semi-gloss, there's eggshell, there's freaking flat. You know, like
Bro,
I'm
stop.
like,
Stop.
babe, did this guy tell you what? Like, you know, so right there and then, I don't have patience for that. And trust me,
Yeah,
I was
no.
very mad, you know, when that happened.
But see, even if in that situation, because we're kind of going through, like, we're doing a remodel at my parents' house, right? So we go to the store and the builder's a good friend of mine, so that's cool. But the second thing is, when we go to the store to pick out stuff, he's with us. Because that way,
Yeah.
because if I'm gonna buy, I don't care if you buy it or I buy it.
Yeah.
But what am I supposed to be buying, and what am I looking at? Because sometimes, like Lynn goes to do his job, the person wants to cut corners, so they want to buy, they want to pay the stuff themselves, and she's like, yeah, okay, whatever, you can buy the materials yourself, and say, okay, well, will you go with me? What should I get? What should I be looking for, so they can go find it at whatever cost they want, but they're willing to pay. But so it's right, because Lynn works with a certain type of this. So I know what this can do. I don't know
Yeah.
what that can do.
Right.
So now you bring me that over there, and now you want to fault me. I don't know what the fuck that
I
is
can't
that you
guarantee
bought.
if the second you put it in the ground, it
Yeah.
dies.
Right. I don't know what the fuck that is.
And
Yeah.
so, and that's my thing right there, because all right, when people are bringing you their own product, or they want to cut corners and go the cheaper route and stuff like that, I'm like, you know, for me, I would be straight up like, no, I'm not. I can't work with that. You know what I mean? Because I can't guarantee my services.
Right.
All right. And that all goes into you know, to everything that you know, just in general, just customer service itself.
Right.
You know.
So this is gonna sound super stupid, but this is the way that, like, I analogize it for, like, regular people. Cell phones.
What about it?
So who's your cell phone with?
AT&T.
Yeah.
Lynn,
AT&T.
yours. Right. Remember Cricket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted fucking Cricket because it was $3 for a
They
cell
want them
phone.
burners.
But them hoes gone.
Yeah.
Like, they're gone. Like, they so you paid cheap. You had to buy the phone. You had to do all this. You had to pay for the cheap. Your service was shitty. Now you got a phone someplace, Cricket phone, that you can't use, and you're
Yeah.
still at AT&T, right?
Facts.
Just get the
Just
not
get the
necessarily the
thing.
premier, but get the right thing at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Get the right thing at first.
It's because it's just just going back. It's just, you know, people just want to cut corners, you know. And when you cut corners, that's what it just goes back to. You know what I mean? You wanted it. You know, you didn't want to go with Lynn. You wanted to go with little Juanito that with his freaking 2 gas tanks and the freaking
Yeah.
lawnmower riding
Yeah.
around.
Right.
You know, but then he ended up doing a fucked up job. So now what you're doing? You know, right? Now you're gonna have to pay Lynn's price. Plus you're gonna have to pay the price for Lynn to fix
it,
Juanito's
yeah.
freaking, you know, fuck up.
Put,
You know
put
what I
the
mean?
patch of sod where he cut the grass too low.
Yeah.
Put the,
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And so
all
when
of
you
that.
you could have just paid what, and it probably was at what,
Yeah,
probably
50
$100.
Yeah, $5,500.
You know,
to do
different.
something, and it's like,
But you would have done it the right
Yeah.
the first time, and it would have lasted a long
Yeah,
like that.
a
I tell
lot
people
longer.
all the time, you know, when they come in here and you know, they always ask me about equipment recommendation. You know what I mean? And if even though I tell them the equipment recommendations, what do they go to do? They go to Dick's Academy, and what kind of gloves do they get?
oh, they get the Everlast.
Everlast.
And that,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
stupid
All right.
fucking zip-up bag.
Yeah.
And no knock on Everlast. Everlast has some dope, but the dope Everlast shit is not in Dick's.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
It's
not.
online. And
Yeah.
all right, and I so going back to the trusted brands, I have trusted brands that I love buying and like that because they're dependable. They're long lasting. They're not pleather. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
actual leather like that. You know the thing. But the thing is, like, the difference from an Everlast Academy glove, which is what, like $40.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay. And then the ones that it's $20. All right.
Oh,
It's $20 difference, but this thing is gonna last about 2, 3, 4 years freaking longer than that glove. All right. I don't even know what kind of what is that synthetic leather?
Oh,
and it always
even
rips.
know.
It always
the,
rips
the,
off.
the
immediately.
shitty vinyl, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the vinyl,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, because I always have pieces of that, you know, on my mats all the time. I'm always throwing away those things. Like that.
Those. So when you get because that when you go to Academy and you buy that stuff, nothing wrong with Academy, nothing wrong with the $40 Everlast gloves, but they're designed for a purpose, and that purpose is not, 53 or 23-minute rounds in the cage. That's not what they're designed for. They're designed for very light, hitting the bag, cardio kickbox. That's what they're
F45.
They're designed for you to hold them and not even really make contact with anything, but so that you have little weighted gloves on. That's, and if you're gonna do so, and if you're gonna go, and if you're gonna do, then you go and you say, okay, well, look, I can't afford the rival, right? What else is there that's on the same page? Because they have low of the high end, right? They have low, and if that's what you need, that's what you need, and that's fine. But don't if you cut that corner, because now it's 3 months later. Now you got to buy some $40 gloves again. Now you spend $80.
You spend $80. You could have just paid $60 in the get go, and you would have had a glove that lasts you 3 years.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I tell people, like, okay, so I have some, my top name brand right now that I'm rocking with is Fairtex. All right.
Okay.
Like if you've been in the, if you train or know your gear and your equipment, stuff like that. All right. They do not come cheap. All right.
Not at all.
This is my job. This is my craft. This is my profession. All right. So I'm going to invest some good quality money into some good quality equipment. Okay. Like that. But I know that these gloves are going to last me. My last gloves before then were Rival. All right. Those gloves lasted me 7 years. All right. These gloves right now are going on.
You still have the Rivals, though, don't you?
Yeah, but they're totally destroyed now that I let everybody use them.
I was saying, last time I saw those Rivals, they were in pretty good shape.
I started letting them the community use them because people come in here and they like that. One person using them, they're gonna last forever. Everybody in the gym using them. They still lasted for like, even after 7 years of lasting with me, they still lasted about a couple months before. Like that. But that just goes to show you, like, okay, I spent about $120 on them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good, nice little pretty penny. But look, man, they good general leather, freaking, still kept the padding, everything like that. They were great gloves, all right? But then let's go back to those, cheapy ones that you're just going to get at Academy of Digs and stuff like that. Okay, 3-4 months, boom, you buy another $80. 3-4 months, boom, another $40. Now you're at $120. You could have had a nice, good pair
of gloves right there.
like that.
So everybody goes to school, and I go to school. Everybody goes to work, and they go and buy some, some Florsheim's or whatever, right? So that's cool. But you see me when I go to work, cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Ostrich cowboy boots.
Yes.
Bro, the boots, my boots, ask me how old my boots are.
How are your boots?
How old?
How old are they?
How old are they?
They're 20 years old.
20 years.
My boots are 20 years old.
Leather in the
I
mud.
paid probably $500 or $600 for those boots. And then every 3 or 4 years, you have to pay like $170 to get maybe $150 to get the bottoms redone, to get them resold. 20 years, bro.
This is some Christian Louis Vuitton
nice.
20 years, bro.
Nice.
And I'm still rocking them. And when I tell you my
Hell
boots, people are like,
yeah.
"Oh man, your boots look great." I'm like, "I know they do." but if you invest that on the front, and you have to be serious about it. If you didn't know, if I said, well, if I was a germaphobe and I was going to an MMA gym, right, and I was like, I don't know what's in there, I don't know what they have in there, I'm gonna bring my own gloves. And I don't know if I'm serious about it yet. I may go buy those $40 Academy gloves because I don't know.
Right.
But once I say, okay, this is for me, then I'm going to go spend money on gloves because I know I'm going to need them for a while. Like, I know they're going to be there for a while. But I've already told myself in my head that these are just what it's going to be. Like, these are just throwdowns. And that is what it is. But if it's something that you know you're going to want, if it's your garden or your house that you know you want to stay, if you're really serious about losing weight, like spend the money for it.
Yeah.
And the thing is so and I was telling Lynn this the other day. In my industry, and I was letting her listen to this one soundbite, of these guys that are real big in the industry and stuff like that. And the guy was going on a rant of how he just hates the fitness space because like the big box gyms like LA, and then not so much Lifetime, but for sure LA and Fitness Connection,
Right.
with their what memberships.
$15 a month or something like that.
memberships,
Yeah.
$10 memberships like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can never compete with that. All right.
Right.
You know, but there's a reason that they do that, and because I was telling Lynn, I was like, all right, with a big box gym like that, you know, what do you think how many members they have?
They probably have tons of them at any given time.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about,
but like committed people that go to the gym.
like how many memberships like a month they probably have on average. And if I had to really guess, you know, I would probably say, you know, 10,000.
Probably.
Like that.
Probably.
Yeah, like
Dang.
something like that, because
Yeah.
it's just $10. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Probably.
Okay,
yeah.
but then now let's think about it. You know, how big do you think that gym is, square footage wise?
I've never actually been into one of them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right now, my gym right now is a little under 10,000 square feet. Okay. And so I'm probably half their size. So 20,000. You know. That 20,000 square feet with them, because you're talking about,
That's
you know,
huge,
you're talking
bro.
about everything. You're talking about fully built out restrooms, swimming pools, basketball.
Okay.
You know, like that. They have a big old,
Right,
You know,
yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
you know they're about 20,000, like a small little Walmart size freaking gym. You know what I mean,
Jeez,
like
all
that.
right, all right.
All right. And so, but the thing is, for that is that, okay, and just for fire hazards and things like that, when you're getting a thing, like they're not going to be sanctioned, you know, by the city of Houston, you know, to fit in 20,000 people in that building. So
Right.
why do they have so many freaking memberships? They
Right.
don't, because they're banking that these people are going to go in and they're going to buy these memberships, all right, and they're just going to forget about it. All right.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you told me, Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of
Listen,
those
I was
persons.
one of those people for a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
$10 is $10. You know, not
You're
thinking
not even
about
thinking
that.
about it
Yeah.
anymore.
You know,
yeah.
but then again, you don't want to get rid of it because, you know, in the back of your head, you do want to get in shape. All right. But then, you know, you don't want to be spending $500-$600 on a personal trainer, or, you know,
Right.
you know, or a little bit higher end, you know, membership like that, because guess what? Now you can't go out on a Friday night. You know what I mean? That costs too much. You know, now really that really takes, you know.
That's a pretty good hustle.
Yeah. And so, but that's what it is. That's their business.
Y'all
plan,
gonna sell
you know what I mean?
gym memberships instead of Caladiums on the
You know,
corner?
But that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that that's why I said I have no idea, because you know they have a shit ton of members, but you don't
Right.
have a bunch of people that go.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people fuck off, Tim.
Yeah.
$10 a month?
Yeah. It's just like your
Set and
Netflix.
forget.
All right. It's just
Right.
like your
Yeah.
Netflix. Now that Netflix is going up, how many people are really thinking, you know, about that $15 membership? They're like, you know what? Do I really need this? You know, this
Right.
Netflix? I'm not watching it.
I don't need to stream on 4
Yeah.
different TVs.
Hey,
I can just put them
whoever's
on.
sharing, y'all gonna have to start paying up.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Whatever.
getting back to just that $10 freaking price, you know, it really hurts small gyms like mine, you know, because we can't compete with those people. But then again, you know, we're trying to sell. We're just trying to make a living. You know what I mean? And so, what I'm trying to sell in my gym is quality. All right.
Right.
You're not getting all the amenities and the accountability and then the community and stuff like that. That's why you're paying, you know, that extra price. All right.
You
Like
got a
that.
fat trainer
Yeah.
at whatever fitness connection.
No,
There's
you
a
know,
fat
we don't
trainer
got no
there.
fat trainers. Right? We got some in shape trainers that are going to be there
Yeah.
every day and help you out and, you know, educate you and then work with you and be there hand in hand with you.
Right.
You're
You
gonna
know,
see them working out there too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. The
You
fat
know,
trainers.
You're not going to just be a number, you know, on their stat sheet like that, you know, and then you just, you know, check in and then you walk straight to the back and no one fucking even gives a shit that you're there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. You know, you're gonna have someone that's gonna be there and know your name and then see you fucking up. You're like, hey man, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. You know what I mean? So it's gonna cost, you know, a little bit more money. You know what I mean, like that. But then on top of that, it's just, you know, the quality service goes up. You know, like that. And so that's why the price is at a certain point. You know, because there's a lot more amenities that go with it. You know what I mean? Do you have certain packages or things like that where, you know, you get just the bare minimum?
Yeah.
Your Mo, Blow, and Edge. You know,
Hey.
and
Mo,
then-
Edge, and Blow.
Yeah, your Mo, Edge, and Blow, and then, you know,
And then I got my top tiers.
What? I got mad distracted. But look, but that's what I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about the same thing with the practice of law. There are lawyers out here that are running 150 person caseloads, right? And
how do they even?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's just too many people, man. Like,
How?
How are you gonna put that much care into 100? How many? 50?
100, 150 people.
Like that? Like
You
I can't.
can't.
Like even for me as a personal trainer, all right. Even for me as a personal trainer, like that, I'm like, no, like I gotta cap it off at a certain. Because I remember when I was running 22 people. At one point, I was working with 22 clients at one time, like that, and freaking that right there, that for sure was getting close to a 40-hour a week
Right.
schedule. Even as a personal trainer, I didn't have to do it, but man, I'm telling you, there was some good money. But I'm like,
so it depends on what you're doing, because if you're going to the gym with them when they show up and you're standing there next to them and counting their reps, that's easy money. If you're helping them with their meal plan, helping them with their form, helping them with their supplements, if you're doing all that,
That's a lot
then
of work.
now you're doing a lot of extra stuff
Yeah.
when they're not there.
Yeah.
So I can't have 22.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and it's like, look, if you really want quality, you have to, quality, you're always going to sacrifice quantity.
yeah.
I just think
I'm happy you just said that, because that that's one big thing, especially when you're coming up as a small business, owner and working for yourself and stuff like that. That you really have to think about those things, all right? Because you're trying to pump out a great quality product, all right, like that. But then B, someone that's looking for services and stuff, they're always looking for a deal. And it's very irritating, what's the word I'm looking for?
Annoying as fuck.
It is annoying like that. It gets real demoralizing because like you're trying to get to a certain level to get to the next level and things like that, and it's a slippery slope because like for me, and I tell people all the time, I was like, when you're starting out, you can't be picky at all. You know what I mean? Like that. It's you're between a rock and a hard place, because you can't be picky at all. You have to just get the clients where you can get them from, what I mean? To start to build a name and a brand like that, so then you solidify yourself. You're a proven product like that, or proven service, that you can do it like that, and then people, they're not even going to question you after that, but the thing to get there is so hard. And so when I talk to trainers and stuff like that are coming in and they're like, oh, I charge $20 an hour, oh, I charge $40 an hour, I'm like, look, that's too low. All right, like that. But then again, I understand where they're there, because my motto since I've ever started, after I got laid off and I started being a personal trainer, is like, do you want to make $1 or do you not want to make nothing at all? Like that. Because I'm like, you still got to put food in your mouth, you got to put clothes on your back, you got to pay the bills, you got rent and stuff like that, So I'm like, in the beginning, of course, I feel like go ahead, hustle hard, build your clientele. Then once you build your clientele, all right, you can go ahead and, now this is my fee. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. I ain't negotiating with nobody. You know what I mean? Either, you trust me and you did your research and you know what kind of quality service I'm going to do and I'm going to provide for you like that. Or you know what? Go down the street. You know what I mean?
You also have the thing that and this is because the best, and I know you have it, I'm sure you have it too, Lynn, and it always worked for me, was the best advertisement you could get is word of mouth, right?
Yeah, no,
so
that's 100% my business.
So it's like, hey, look, I get it, but you got to understand that the reason that we're here, the reason that you're here, and I'm doing this for you for $100 an hour is because, hey, we're introductory pricing, you know what I'm saying? But now you started telling your friends, and like we're not going to be introductory pricing forever. It's going to move. And so, but that enables you to, in my eyes, it enables you to kind of push that ball without having a hurt heart. And then if you do that, you also are able to, because I've had a lot of people that I work with and that have done things for me that keep me, that like I'm still at their old school price. Like I'm still at their old school price but that's the loyalty discount.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the loyalty discount.
Yeah.
The loyalty goes a long way. And when you're starting your business and you have those people that are loyal to you and they're still there and they're still coming to get that, do you call it it's a
Mow edge and blow.
Bro, I'm telling you, that sounds like a movie. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But when you come for that, or you got the guy that came in the gym and when the banner first went up, not the banner didn't even go up, but the dude that was at the apartment, you know what I'm saying? And he's coming in and he's like, hey, I want to train. You're like, you've been here 7 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've been here 7 years. Okay, everybody else may be charged, have to pay $300 an hour, but you charging whatever you paid 7 years ago just because of the loyalty. But
and you know what those people are still doing for you? You know, even though that you're charging, you know, giving them a loyalty discount, they're still bringing you people.
They're still bringing you people.
Like
yeah.
All right?
They're still bringing you
people. All right, they're still talking about you with the highest regards. All right, like that. No shadow of doubt. There's, you know,
Exactly.
like that.
Right.
They're bringing you people. All right,
Exactly.
Like that. And that's why you keep giving them those discounts. You know, like that. You know, I'm all about that. You know, for sure. You know, there's every once in a while, you know, people come in because I have a huge heart. You know what I mean? And my wife, Crystal, she gets mad at me sometimes because like I give away so much shit for free at points like that. She's like, babe, stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like but the thing is that, you know, for me, it's like I always feel like I have what's the word I'm looking for? Like when a good judgment, like when you what I'm trying to say?
A good judge of character.
Yeah, like I have a good judge of character like that with some people. And I always do that with some people that come in here because I see that, hey, you know, that they're really invested, they really want to do this and stuff like that, you know, and I don't mind, you know, giving them free shit all the time, or hooking them up or something like that, you know, because I feel like in return, you know, that loyalty, all right, that they're gonna freaking pay me back with bringing in more people,
right?
All right. And it's crazy, you know, that you do that. You know, obviously you don't want to be giving everything away for free, you know, because you're gonna have to, you know, give, you know, you're gonna have to pay bills, you know, like that. You know, free don't pay the bills.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Never.
I was
have.
like, because that's one thing I tell all the time because you know, all right, the two main people, you know, the two main people that, you know, that you think that they would support you more often, but they don't. Your friends and your family.
Yeah.
All right. They're always looking for the hookup. It's the one person that you've never met. They come in and they're all 100% about you like that. Not even you know, related to you, nothing like that. That they do more for you than your friends and your family.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And I had to tell my friends and my family all the time, hey, free don't pay the bills. You know.
Yeah.
But you know that you have people like, because like there's situations where, and I think you had told me you had done this before, but it may not have been you. It may have been somebody else. But you went and they were like, okay, well look, you don't have to do the EFT, right? You don't have to do the EFT. You can pay me. You know, pay me cash when you get it. You bring in and pay me cash. Mm-hmm. But then when you see that person's loyal and you see they're coming and you see they're doing and you see they're bringing and they're bringing in extra business, you just stop asking them to pay month to month, because they're showing improving everything without having to.
They're showing their worth, obviously.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I like, you know, with people like that you've known so long, you work with them like that, and maybe they don't have it and stuff like that, but they're still bringing in people. I'm like, that itself is a payment.
Right, right.
You know, for sure.
Right.
I don't know how many people do you have like that you work with.
Yeah, all the time. I have somebody that I do their vet's house, I do their doctor's house, I do their friends' houses, you know, like, and I love it because it's just one of those things that it goes a long way when your work, they're proud of the work that you're doing, and then they're saying, hey, you want a yard like mine? Yeah.
Right.
This guy, this girl, call them.
No,
right.
And that, you know, word of mouth is for sure, you know, a big thing. But getting back just to quality and then you know, do you want quality or do you want a deal kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, there's a I don't know the guy who it is, and I know you told me to look it up, and it's a great soundbite because he talks about, you know, doing it 3 ways. All right. Do you want to do that fast, cheap, or good? And you can only pick 2.
Right.
All right. You know, and so if you want it, you know, fast and cheap, well, it ain't gonna be good.
Right.
Right.
You know. And then he says, do you want it cheap and good? Well, it ain't gonna be fast.
Right.
You know. Do you want it fast and good? Well, you know, it ain't gonna be cheap.
It's not,
Yeah.
You see? And then, you know, if everybody, you know, that's getting into it or like catching up with the market and trying to set their price and their service at a, you know, at a good price that they can sustain, you know, a living from it and stuff like that. I think those 3 things for sure need to go into your thought process, you know, all depending on your market itself, the market, like that, on where you put your pricing at, how often do you have to, and when you're quoting people and things like that, you have to explain to them those things.
I do all the time, and I'm constantly having to reevaluate, because I don't just service one area, I service many different areas, and the further I go out, the more my prices go up, and it's just, that's just how it plays out. Yeah,
but people will look at you and they don't think about what it took to get where you are.
Right, that too.
Right, so they don't think about the fact that, I started school at 5. I finished school at 25.
Yeah.
Whatever that age was, right? And then you have to keep doing classes after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that goes into this. So I know it seemed like I did it in an hour. But it really took me, it took 30 years to be able to do it in an hour.
Exactly.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm happy that you just brought this up, man, because right now I'm always like with the struggle with my gym right now, and not being where I wanted to be at number wise, like that. And it just goes back to when that student would ask me, man, you make it look so easy, and it hit me one day. I was thinking about it, and because a lot of people, when they come in here, they're always looking for a deal.
Right.
I probably already gave them some type of student discount deal. Man, I don't even get me started on that. All right. I already probably gave them some type of student discount deal, and then they still want more on top of that. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about the other day, and I was like, why do these people think that I just have all this type of money, or this net revenue coming in, where they think I can just be handing out all these deals? I was like, because what is it? They come in, they see this gym. It's a huge spot, a lot of equipment. It's all the necessary equipment that they need, and add more, like that. And I'm like, I was like, what, do they think that I just have the money, like that? And I was like, and I was thinking about it, I was like, man, if they understood, and that's why I have that picture right behind my desk when I'm talking to people.
Right.
All right. So they understand how long it took.
Right.
Or just visual wise, all right, that I started with, some mitts, a chest protector, and one bag with a medicine ball, to now I have a 10,000 square foot gym with freaking a ring, mats, freaking I like that. I was like, no, like what you said. Right. I was like, it's been on since 2015. That's when I opened up my business. So now today it's like almost 10 years, almost a decade, of me with knowledge, the amount of money that I've invested, all the, the 10,000 hours plus some, to become an expert and a master.
The sacrifices.
People don't understand. People think sacrifice is blood and blood and sweat. Yeah. And they don't understand that. When they say blood, sweat, and tears, bro, there's days that you sit and you're like, I can't fucking do this. Yeah. I can't do this.
When my dad started this business, it was in 2000 or 2002, something like that. So I was like in first, second grade, and seeing him come home really late at night and knowing I can't play with my dad. He has to eat. He has a few minutes to himself to watch a TV show or something like that, and then he's going to bed to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be out there. So I didn't get my dad during the week, and then on the weekends, same thing. He was working Saturdays, and then Sundays maybe sometimes we would go off, but guess what? He's catching up on everything. We're going to families. We're doing this, so he never stops. Never stops.
People don't just. That's a grind, but that's all the things that you have to talk to yourself. You have to tell yourself. You have to know within yourself, if you're going to start a business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be that guy, then it's a long road to walk to be that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like they always talk about, Walt Disney started in a garage. Right. Michael Dell started in the garage. Bill Gates started in the garage. Like it's a long time, man.
Freaking Amazon guy.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
All the,
world's richest dude.
Our family business did start in our garage.
It takes a long time to get there. Mm-hmm. None of those guys got there overnight. No. None of them got there overnight. Steph Curry didn't get there overnight. No. Jordan didn't get there overnight. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter athlete, entertainer. There's there's no 6-year-old like making millions of dollars on the thing. Like it takes a long time to get there.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's 50 years old, bro.
It barely hit $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean he's 50 years
yeah.
old. Like it takes time. It just takes time to get
going
there.
back to my story, you know, and to think about it even more, like, you know, after all that is said and done, and you really think about like, I'm like, man, you know, I put all this time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, emotion, you know, stress, everything, you know, like that, you know, to invest to get to do this dream. You know, I was like, man, I'm starting to think that, you know what, it's very disrespectful that these people, you know, will come in here and then want, you know, a deal and want you to devalue everything that you've gone through, because they, you know, just for the simple fact that, you know what, is like, you know, they don't know where you've been through. But then again, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people are only going to pay you what they think you're worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be pretty subjective at times, you know, especially, you know, in a luxury business like this, you know, because we're not a necessity. So that, you know, I'm like, okay, I don't blame you for that. But then again, I'm like, you know, please don't disrespect me, you know, you know, for everything that I've done, you know, and then on top of that, you know, 99.9 times, you know, out of 100, none of them have even tried your product or your service or anything like that to even freaking be like, you know what? Oh, that's why you're worth this.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a luxury, you gotta think about what luxuries are. Luxuries are things that you do when you have all your necessaries are met. Right? You got all your necessities,
and now you have an abundance.
And now you have extra. So now you're spending it on luxury. So if you're gonna come and spend it on luxury, if I decide I'm gonna go buy a Maybach, I'm gonna go buy a Bentley, I'm not gonna go in and be like, hey man, but I can get a fucking Chrysler 300 for 50 grand. They like to go get a Chrysler fucking 300. Like you don't, you're not going into a luxury car dealership and trying to get a discount like this. If it's a luxury, treat it. It's a luxury.
Yeah. Like you know, for me, just going back, is I remember hearing this one speaker talking about, you know, like don't like if you're gonna support your friends and your family and their new business and stuff like that, don't ask them for a deal. Don't devalue what
you
they're
shouldn't
doing.
be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that. You know, because you're probably that same person that, you know what, you don't even think twice or even ask. You know, at a bar, you know how much, you know, what that freaking bottle service is.
Right.
All right. You're paying what, $150, $200, $300 on a bottle that what you can go to Specs and buy for
Literally
$50, $60.
Literally pissing money away.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But then yet, you know, you have your best friend, you have your cousin, you have whatever it is that is starting their own business like that, and their services is X amount of dollars, and now you want a deal. You know what I mean? I like, you know,
the way that you support them is if they have a restaurant, you take all your friends to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then you say, here we all go, and everybody's gonna be in there, everybody's gonna pay, and I'm not in here because I want to show off and now expect you to give everybody a discount. No, we're all gonna come in, we're all gonna pay full price, and it is what it is, and I'm gonna show them how good the food is at your restaurant or how good
the service or
whatever. This is what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna add because now you're telling me that you don't even think that I'm worth what. Well, damn, if you don't think I'm worth it, are you really my people?
Yeah.
You gotta find you know, and you get to see, you know, especially when you're coming up and stuff like that, you know, and it's probably already happened to y'all, you know, especially when you're coming up as a business and things like that, is that, you know, how small your circle starts to get. You know, because the people that you thought were there to support you and stuff like that, you know, are not really supporting you. All right.
Right.
That, you know, some they don't wish you ill, or they're not trying to get a deal from you, but then yet they're not the ones that are really pushing it, you know, trying to get you pushed forward, you know, and accelerating the process. So, you know, like that, you still don't want those people around you.
Right.
And then, but then you do have those friends or family that, you know, you're not giving a deal when they're asking for it, and then now they're kind of like, you know, a little, you know, wishing you ill or talking behind like that. You don't want those people around you either. You know what I mean? So now you got to be real selective, and then you start to lose your friends and your family members around, you know, and it starts to become a real lonely place, you know, like that. But I ain't trying to get into the dark side of like that, you know, but like that. But at the same time, it's just, you know, making sure that when you price, you know, your products and your services like that, I was like, hey, you got to have a firm stance. You know what I mean?
But what you're saying is not about getting into the dark side, but it's about there's gonna be a dark side anyway.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be those days, like I said, that you don't know if you can do it. And what you need is you don't need people around you that are like, I don't think you can do it either.
Hey, you
Right.
Because that's what that is saying. They're saying,
Yeah.
I don't think that this is worth $50. I'll give you 20 for it.
I'm gonna give you full circle right here, right? You can't make, you're not ice cream. You can't make everybody happy. All right, full circle on that one. all
Right. I fucking love
All right,
ice cream.
and that's the truth, all right? I don't care if you lactose intolerant. Those people will risk a bad night to get some ice cream.
I've seen it.
Okay. So have you been to Dairy Queen lately?
Yes.
I haven't been in a while.
I have.
Have you had a cupfection? A
No.
brownie cupfection?
The last thing I got at Dairy Queen was a churro dip cone.
Oh, that was so good.
yo. Ellie had one of those. So she was like, oh my God. But
Anything
we went
churros
and
good.
got, man, I fucking love churros, bro.
Yeah.
So we went to Dairy Queen and got this thing. It's called a cupfection, bro.
Uh-huh.
And I love, so top dessert for me, brownie and ice cream.
Yeah.
And this is like a brownie. You take a brownie, put it in a cup, put some Oreos and some whipped cream on top of it, bitch, like here. And then Ellie gets one that's Heath. It's like a Heath bar crumbled up in it, right? Bro, I be sitting at home at night like, y'all got any more confection? I'm like a fucking geek, bro. I'm tweaking, bro. And I'm like, damn, and it's hot. But yeah, bro, I love ice cream.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Ice cream?
Shit, what was the topic?
I want to before we wrap up everything up, like that, and about your products and service, and then just taking a stand on your, once you get to a certain level that you're not negotiating with anybody,
Right.
know, and this is some things, if you really think about it, I don't you can either climb up the ladder, all right? You can
Right.
either climb up the ladder, all right, or you can start at the very top of the ladder, all right, and then start to price your products and services at a lower cost, And the reason I say this is because, all right, you could take a brand like Tesla, all right,
Right.
At the very end of the upper echelon, all right. He came out. His very first car that he came out with with the Tesla Roadster, right? Like
Right.
that.
Beautiful
And I
car.
believe,
Beautiful car.
top end, freaking super fast,
Beautiful
has all the
car.
bells and whistles, everything. That was his very first car.
Beautiful car.
All right, and I believe that car. If you want to look it up, I think it's like $300,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I think last time I looked, I think it was like $250,000.
Yeah. All right. Dude's never, he's a tech company. Never been, freaking in the car company at all. Comes out with a car off the bat, luxury, high end, freaking top dollar freaking car. What do you got on there for that car?
The Founders Edition is $250,000.
$250,000. All right, like that. All right, so $250,000 car. It has never even, it doesn't even have the pedigree like Ford or Chevy like that's been in the game. Off the bat, making a first car, like that. Okay.
Beautiful car.
And like that. And then what he does? What he's doing is that he set the price, and because with those things, what is it? That's what do they call it? What I'm trying to say. Like it's a status symbol.
Oh yeah, right.
That's what I'm trying to say. All right, it's a status symbol. All right, people want to separate themselves. All right, like that. So he already knew that his target, audience and things like that, and he's going for a certain thing. And so he knew that no one was gonna even argue the price, because like, all right, you tell me who's your best customers. All right, people with money or people that are on a tight budget.
It's the people with money.
The people with money.
Why? But
They don't-
why though?
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Charge it.
Here.
Whatever it costs here.
Yeah.
People, I'm sorry to say, but people on a budget, those are the ones that are gonna be, picky. They're gonna be
Yes.
freaking. They're gonna
The ones
want.
Very.
people used to come into the office, and the ones that wanted to pay the retainer to just have a lawyer on deck whenever they needed it were the people with money that really didn't need the lawyer. But the dude that didn't have any money, that was steadily committing crimes,
Yeah.
and actually needed to have
Making
a lawyer
you
on deck. He didn't have, but other people just wanted to have a lawyer on deck so they could say, "Oh, I'm calling my lawyer."
Yeah. And that's where I'm getting at. I'm happy you said that, because that's where I'm getting at. He started at this high end price, all right, like that. Never been in the bang, but you know what? The people that with status, that has money and stuff like that. That's what he knew. That's what people wanted to say. I
Right.
have a Tesla. All right, how many people that you know freaking have a Tesla are happy to say I have a Tesla? All right,
Heck yeah.
and then but now what? You know, it ain't even a Roadster. It's what is their base model now?
It's I don't know. It's the X, the S. It's not the Model Y.
Yeah,
because that's the one with
but it's the Tesla that costs what, like 70, you know, 80,000.
No, bro, it's less than that.
What's the base model?
I think there's a Tesla that's like 50 or something like that. The Model 3 starts at
$33,000, and I bet you they're happy to say that they have a Tesla. All right, so he started from the top of the ladder. All right, and then because he knew freaking, you know, people, you know, everybody wants to be associated with luxury. Everybody wants to be associated with status. All right, that's why, you know, you ever see those memes and stuff like that where you have, you know, these rappers or these ballers or whatever like that. They're all freaking, you know, Gucci belt, Gucci shoes, fucking chains, watch, everything like that. And then then they show a picture with like Bill Gates or something like that. Bro has the same outfit, you know, a whole closet with the same outfit,
like Mr. Rogers.
Still, you know, freaking, you know, wearing his Grill Master, you know, 3000s and stuff like that, like, you know,
right.
But he's worth $1 billion. This dude's freaking net worth is only what, $1,000,
right? If that, his outfit is worth more than
his outfit is worth more than his net worth.
But they don't. But that's what. That's where, like we talked about before. That's where having that business plan, having that business model, doing your market research on the front end lets you know what to do, because you have to be able to. Oh, you're a golfer. You have to be able to play the long game too. Like, you can't just play the short game, because you'll never get to the green. Like, it'll take you. I mean, it'll take you forever to get to the green if all you have in your bag is a putter.
No, you know, and so this goes with a lot of different markets. You know what I mean? You'll see it, you know, with high end luxury bags. All right, when have you ever seen someone like Louis Vuitton or Gucci or freaking Hermes, you know, freaking go on sale? Right. All right.
For
like,
what?
Never. All right. So, you know, women that know that they can't, you know, afford a bag that costs that much, you know, freaking $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 bag and stuff like that. What's the next thing? They go to the Michael Kors. They go to the Tory Burches. You know what I mean? Because Michael Kors, Tory Burches, there's nothing wrong with those bags. All right. At the end of the day, it's still just holding your lip gloss. All right.
And a bunch of receipts.
And a bunch of receipts. All right. That, you know, like that. I don't know what the difference is. Right. You know, but the thing about it is that, you know what? I was like, they you know, these bags and stuff like that, they're created, but you know why? Because they want to emulate, you know, that status symbol, that luxury.
They all got a fucking peppermint stuck at the bottom of them.
You know, but the thing is now, okay, so now, all right, are you going to work from... You sure you don't got a bag? No, he's always carrying it. Yeah. But then, okay, so, you know, we're talking about freaking starting at the bottom, all right, like that. I'm like, is it going to be tough really building a clientele base like that? Like, these people, you know, they're already a proven product and stuff like that, and they've been in the game, so, you know, they can do something like that. Yeah. All right? Are you that type of person? Are you that person? You know, do you have a big enough following that when you finally open up your business, you can start at the top and then start to start to create things, you know, down the ladder for people that want to be associated with your upper echelon like that? All right? That's where it's going to start. Or are you a true beginner? You don't have nobody, then you're kind of forced to start at the bottom of the ladder and work up, you know, which is...
So check this out. Real shit. This is real Houston shit. Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Mad respect. Shout out to Bun B.
Heck yeah.
Bro, this dude's a rapper, bro. He's a rapper.
Owns Trail Burgers.
Oh, but wait a minute. But how you just like you just said, you watch the game. You watch how Trill Burgers started out as a pop-up, bro. Yeah. You couldn't get one all the time. Yeah. It was pop up here, pop up there. I'm here, I'm there. Yeah. We have them till they sell out and then we're gone. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I got a Trill Burger, oh, I got a Trill Burger, oh, I got a Trill Burger. Now, the Trill Burger that finally opened up, the brick and mortar, motherfucking line is 651 people long every day, all day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so you get your business plan. And I mean, and the dude is not, like, no disrespect, dude is not just a rapper. Dude's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, no, he's an entrepreneur.
Dude's fucking brilliant.
He's a hustler for sure.
Teaching a class at U of H for a while, like, dude's brilliant. But when you put it together, he wasn't a chef.
Yeah.
He wasn't a
Right.
chef. And that's not how. But you put together the model, you put together the plan, and then all of a sudden, now you had a Trill Burger. I could go to Smash Burger and get a Smash Burger.
Yeah.
But I had a Trill Burger, bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you had a Trill Burger? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. I mean, that's the way you have to do it. That's
You know,
what-
and it just, you know, it's one of those things like, okay, where do you want to start at? You know, do you want to, do you want to make $1 or nothing at all? All right. And then start from the bottom and then work all the way up and just know and understand, you know, this is something that for me, that's happened to me, you know, like that. Cause I've started from the bottom, and every time I've leveled up and then I've gone to the next level and then had more responsibility and stuff like that, I've completely lost all my clients. All right. And the second time it happened, like, man, like I completely was able to cope with it, and I understand it was going to come. All right. Even before I even made the decision, I knew that this was going to happen, and I was fine with it after the second time it happened. You know, I mean, but the thing is that, okay, all right, like, I know that these clients are going to go away. All right. But you know, what's going to come in replacing is a you know, a higher end paying client. All right. Like that. And so, you know, so like I knew that it was going to weigh out itself, you know, it's going to balance out itself like that, you know, and then because now, all right, you know, now that I'm teaching, you know, let's say 100, you know, I have 100 clients, all right, all of them went away, but now I got 50 clients, all right, it's going to balance out, you know, what I'm getting paid anyway, because, you know, these 50 clients are paying double of what my last payment was, and you know, now, and I'm working less hours. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
kind of, it does balance itself out, you know, and you just gotta just truly believe, you know, that, you know what, I am worth this, all right, like that, it's gonna work out, all right, and you know, and whoever doesn't want to freaking stay on this trade or like that, they can get off right now, you know, and that's fine. If you are, guess what, you know, all right, you're gonna still level up with me, and all right, we're gonna still be, you know, you can continue this ride and supporting me and everything like that, all right. But the thing is that, you know, the next stop is gonna be a new upper echelon type of clientele that obviously that's where you want to put yourself at,
Right.
you know, you're not gonna want to be arguing and, you know, wasting all this time and effort and being so stressed out with the person on a budget that's gonna freaking really try to get every single dollar, you know, squeezed out of you like that. I've had a lady, you know, she took personal training to a whole new meaning of personal training. All right, she really thought I was her personal trainer. All right, talking about on a Sunday at 11 o'clock, you know, at night, you know, freaking texting me and asking me about, you know, questions and things like that. You know, I was like, it's Sunday at 11 o'clock.
Right.
It's like our session isn't until Wednesday at 4. Why are you calling me?
Right.
Like that, you know. But I like, man, people like that. Yeah, for sure. You know, you don't, you know, do you want to mess with those people, you know, your whole entire career and stuff like that? Nah, you want to get away from that, you know, like that. You want to get to a person, you know, Miss Johnson or something like that, that, you know what, she has money. She knows she's gonna miss Monday's freaking thing, and guess what? Don't even worry about it. Go ahead, charge my card. I know I missed it like that, and that's on me. You know, we'll just get it back on, you know, on the next day, you know, like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, you know, go ahead and, you know, you watch what you eat, and I'll see you all next week. You know, like that. You know, no questions asked. You know what I mean?
So what I used to do for people, what I used to do when I was in private practice was people would come in, and they would be like, "Oh, do you have a consultation fee?" And I would be like, yeah, it's a $50 consultation fee, $100 consultation fee, whatever. And then if they showed up, great. If they didn't show up, great. But if they showed up, I was like, oh, okay, bet. And then if they hired, I was like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because you start using things to weed people out, because if you don't want to pay, bro, there's a lawyer with a $10K consultation fee.
Bro,
Not a retainer, bro.
I better never go to jail if I'm hiring him.
You have to talk just to be able to talk to him. He wants $10K for you to come in and say, "Hey, I have a problem. Can I hire you?" No. Dude, he's
Better?
well, it's better now because Congress dead. But yeah, but it's, you know, it's just one of the local guys. You know, I don't want to put him on blast. But you know, I mean, but I'm just saying, like that's real shit.
Yeah.
Like that's where, and of course that's where you hope to be, because the people, if the person willing to pay $10K to talk to you, they have a real problem. They got real money, and they're willing to pay you whatever it is because they know your worth, and that shit is amazing.
Yeah, when you get there, yeah, for sure. You don't got time, be negotiating prices like that.
Right.
No, I already put the time. I already put the hours. You know, what I mean, freaking, I've done it all, and freaking, and I know I'm that dude.
Right.
I know I'm that girl. Like that.
Right.
All right.
Go
you know
girl.
what? Go ahead.
girl.
You go, girl.
Yeah. Go ahead and take your chances. Down the street if you want.
She get her peaches out in
Get-
Georgia.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, value where you're going. It pays to play. What are you
yeah.
willing to sacrifice? And don't let
There's gonna be a
anybody
ton
tell
of
you
sacrifice.
less
Yep.
than that.
Yeah, and I'm happy you said that. And that's what it truly is. When you're starting to level up and stuff, I was like, you're gonna have to, sacrifice some things. You know what I mean? And clients are gonna be some of those things for sure.
Yep.
Because you're just gonna know deep down inside your heart that the next set of clients, the new wave of people that are coming in, all right, they're gonna be worth it, and they're gonna take me to a different level like that. And and my product, my service is gonna still be of quality, but I don't have to negotiate no more for
Right.
sure. All right, guys, this is Sweat Equity. All right, thank you for joining us. My name is Eric Valdez, alongside with Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez, guys. Again, you can find us, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram. Look us up at SweatEquity_HTX. For sure. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, follow us. We'll be here.
All right, guys. All right, y'all have a good one. All right, till next time.
See ya.